Hello and welcome to Annie's Short Stories. I hope you enjoy this story. I'm going to try and upload a new story each day. The Plague of St Boniface. The village of St Boniface, perched on the Isle of Wight's jagged cliffs, had always been a sleepy place, untouched by the turmoil of the modern world. Its cobbled streets and thatched cottages seemed frozen in time, with the shadow of the ancient monastery looming over them. The monastery, a crumbling relic of the medieval era, had been abandoned for centuries, its bells silent and its doors sealed. But now the village was waking to a nightmare. Holly Arnold had returned to her childhood home in St Boniface to escape the clamour of city life. Her parents had passed, and the old family house, with its ivy-clad walls and creaky floors, had called to her like a siren. She had hoped for peace, but peace was the last thing she would find. It began with whispers. Villagers spoke of a sickness that came in the night, leaving its victims fevered and delirious. At first, the afflicted were few: an elderly farmer, a young boy, but soon the plague spread like wildfire. Holly watched with growing dread as her neighbors' faces grew gaunt and their eyes hollow. One evening, as the autumn wind howled through the village, Holly's friend Marion burst into her kitchen, clutching a rag to her mouth. "It's the curse," she whispered. "The monk's curse." "What are you talking about?" "Centuries ago, the monks of St Boniface were slaughtered by invaders. One of them, Brother Gabriel, cursed the village with his dying breath. He swore we'd suffer as they did." "So that's just an old legend?" Marion shot back, her eyes wide with fear. That night Holly couldn't sleep. The wind seemed to whisper through the cracks in the walls, carrying voices from the past. Desperate for answers, she decided to visit the monastery the next day. The ruins of St Boniface Monastery were shrouded in mist. Holly pushed open the iron gate, its hinges screeching in protest, and stepped onto the moss-covered path. The air was heavy with the scent of decay. Inside, the nave was eerily silent. Broken pews lay scattered, and the altar was cloaked in shadows. Holly's flashlight cut through the gloom, illuminating faded murals on the walls. They depicted scenes of the monks' lives: prayer, labor, and death. In the far corner, she found a trapdoor half hidden beneath rubble. With a deep breath, she heaved it open, revealing a stone staircase spiraling into darkness. Her heart pounded as she descended, the air growing colder with each step. At the bottom, she entered a crypt. Candles flickered on ancient candelabras, their flames too steady to be natural. At the center of the chamber lay a stone sarcophagus, its lid engraved with the likeness of a monk. The name Asterisk, Brother Gabriel Asterisk, was chiseled into the stone. "You're the one," Holly murmured. "The curse started with you." As if in response, the candles flared. Brother Gabriel's spectral form was gaunt and hollow-eyed, his robes tattered and blood-stained. "Why have you disturbed my rest?" he intoned. Holly swallowed hard. "The village is dying. Tell me how to stop it." "When the invaders came, they defiled this sacred place. They spilled our blood and shattered our peace. I swore they would pay, and my curse endures." Holly bleated. "They're innocent." Gabriel's expression wavered. "Innocent? Perhaps, but the curse is bound to my torment. Release me, then the plague will cease. How? Bring the relic that was stolen." "The chalice. Return it to my tomb." Holly's quest for the chalice led her to the village archives. After hours of searching, she discovered a journal written by a 19th-century historian. It spoke of a silver chalice taken from the monastery and sold to a collector in London. With no time to lose, Holly contacted the collector's descendants and managed to track the chalice to a private museum. Convincing the curator to part with it was no easy task, but desperation lent her words a fiery conviction. Returning to the crypt, chalice in hand, Holly placed it on the sarcophagus. "I've done as you asked. Now end this." Gabriel's spirit reappeared, his form less menacing. "Yet you have shown mercy where I gave none. For that I am grateful." As he faded, the air grew warm. The candles extinguished, leaving Holly alone in the crypt. The plague abated as mysteriously as it had begun. Villagers recovered, and life slowly returned to normal. But Holly knew the village would never forget the price of its survival. St Boniface remained a place of whispers, where the past lingered like a shadow. And though the curse was broken, Holly often found herself glancing toward the monastery, wondering if Brother Gabriel's restless spirit truly found peace. One stormy night, Holly was jolted awake by the sound of bells, low, mournful, and unmistakable. She hurried to the window, her heart pounding as she scanned the village. The monastery's bell tower, silent for centuries, was illuminated by flickering light. Drawn by an unseen force, Holly donned her coat and ventured into the storm. The path to the monastery was treacherous, the wind threatening to hurl her into the abyss below. Yet she pressed on, the tolling of the bells growing louder with each step. Reaching the gates, she found them wide open. The nave was bathed in an otherworldly glow, and at the altar stood a figure cloaked in shadow. As she approached, the figure turned, revealing the gaunt visage of Brother Gabriel. "You return my chalice," he said. "But my penance is far from over?" Holly asked, her voice barely audible over the storm. Gabriel extended a skeletal hand, pointing toward the chalice, now brimming with crimson liquid. "The blood of the innocent still cries out until it is avenged. Neither I nor this village shall know peace." "What do you want me to do? Find the descendants of those who spilled our blood?" "Only when they atone will the cycle end." The light dimmed, and Gabriel vanished. The storm outside seemed to mirror the turmoil within her as she realized her journey was far from over. The village might have been spared for now, but the true weight of its salvation rested on her shoulders. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this story. Please don't forget to like, and even better, like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and I hope you have had a great day.